All right, here we go. My name's Jeff K, and you're listening to episode 254 of the world-famous West Virginia Surf Report podcast. And we're back, broadcasting once again from deep underneath a nondescript home in suburban Pennsylvania. Thank you guys for joining me. Thanks for downloading this, streaming it, ever how you're listening to it. You know, I appreciate all of it. There's been a significant change. And I don't know, it's a bittersweet situation, but you know how I'm always complaining about I don't get enough sleep? And that is an absolute truth. I walk around in a semi-daze all the time. I can't conjure words, like common words. I start getting nervous like I'm getting the Alzheimer's. You know? It's like, why can I not think of anything? Why can I not bring up just like real words? You know? Like normal, it's like, and he was in one of those, I don't know, they're like metal. They're metal things that you get inside of and drive around a car. Yeah, that's it. It's like, what the? You know, I can't. My phone's on. I have to leave my phone on because there's nobody. My kids are out and I'm home alone, and I need to make sure they're not, you know, snatched off the street. That's what happens on 2020. You know, that kind of stuff. Anyway, what are we talking about? So I walk through life in a state of just in a fog because I don't get enough sleep ever, and part of it's my fault. You know, a lot of it's my fault. I mean, I'm not blaming anybody. Well, I'm not totally blaming anybody else. Part of it's my fault. I don't like to go to sleep. I don't like to go to bed. I fight sleep like a frickin' toddler. You know. It's like, I don't want to go to bed yet. It's only 2:30 in the morning. God, it just got dark. You know, I mean, I don't go to bed at a reasonable time. So I cut time off on the front end, and then I get time cut off on the back end too, on account of the chaos in this house. You know, and then Tony's got to start working up there. She says it's 9 o'clock. She's in there at 8. You know, I don't know what she's doing. Getting ready, prepping. I don't know what the hell's going on. But around 8 o'clock, I mean, I'm awake, and it's like, so there's time cut off both ends of this thing, and I don't get enough, and I'm walking around, and it's causing me problems, right? And so the other day, like 2 weeks ago, she got a notification that they were going to call all the employees back to the office. Tony's worked at home for 6.5 years. She hasn't worked in an actual office in 6.5 years. So they got summoned back. Isn't it crazy? So yesterday, Wednesday, as I record this, was her first day back, and I slept until 10:30 a.m., which is like just a luxury that I mean, it was just like, I woke up, I felt like $1 million, man. I came down here, nobody was home, by the way. Nobody was here. It was like a beautiful spring day outside. It felt like spring. It was like pushing 70. It was sunny, and there was nobody home. We had some of the windows open. I mean, there was nobody here. I came down to the old bunker down here, turned on this, this band called the Kooks? Of course you do. They're from England. They're like a rock pop band, rock, very poppy, very giant hooks. But I like them. Anyway, I put on an album by the Kooks. Then I started writing that No New Jeff's article. This shit was flowing out of me. I'm like, what is, like, I didn't even know I still had this in me. I didn't know I had this ability to actually sit down and write something without, like, struggling. Like, it feels like when I'm writing now, or recently, over the last couple of years, it's like I'm squeezing the last bit of toothpaste out of the tube. You know what I mean? But yesterday, I was like, just typing away. I was like flowing. I was like, that's a good idea. Holy shit, that's a woohoo. I was like, I felt like $1,000,000. Today, same thing. Although I did get awakened a little too early by the boys opening and closing that garage door. I don't know what the hell's going on. Why is the garage door going up and down so often? It's attached to the side of the house, like right beside where our bedroom is. So when they lift that automatic, the electric garage door opener, it's like, it's like shaking the house. I'm like, what the? So today I don't feel like $1,000,000. I feel like $750,000 though. I feel pretty damn good. So anyway, the downside is I'm never going to see her. I mean, we're going to cross paths. She's going to be gone hours, she's going to be gone before I get up, and I'm going to be gone before she gets home. So we're never going to. We'll see each other. She's off on Wednesdays and Sunday, I guess. That's when we'll see each other. And Saturday night, I'm off. Well, I don't know. Anyway, it's going to be minimal. And speaking of beautiful days, I mean, yesterday, like I said, was like spring. Oh, it was fantastic. I mean, it put a spring in your step. Maybe that's why they call it spring. I never thought of that, but it might be. But anyway, beautiful, beautiful. Today, that's right, snow, ice, Armageddon. There's going to be snow tonight. I'm going to go to work. I already told them. I said, if it starts getting bad out there, I'm leaving. They're like, I don't blame you. It's 40 miles. I'm not getting stuck down 40 miles south of here in some kind of winter storm, So anyway, God, you can't. It feels like spring's here, and then the very next day, it's like they can't be happy. We can't let these people be happy. There's no way. Drop a snowstorm on their ass, I mean, that's what I think. I take it personally. What? Is that unreasonable? Anyway, I got a few things jotted down here. The other day, I think it was Tuesday, I don't remember. I think it was Tuesday, we purchased Paul McCartney tickets. Paul McCartney, I've never seen a Beatle live. I've never seen a Beatle dead either. Hang on a second, let me take a hit of it. I've never seen any of the Beatles perform live. And I'm a huge Beatles fan, as you know. He announced recently, Paul McCartney announced recently he's going to do it's 14 dates, I think, stadium tour of the U.S. That might not seem short for him. I mean, these stadium tours are a big deal. But anyway, 14 dates on this tour in the summer. And one of them was in Syracuse, which is less than 2 hours from our house. And it's easy, too. It's easy just to drive straight up the interstate. And you're there. It's like it's a lot easier to get in and out of than Philly, which is a cluster, So I was excited. I said, we got to go to that, man. I said, this is an opportunity to see Paul McCartney, who I've always wanted to see. And it's not far from our house. So we bought tickets. They were, you ready for this? $300 each. We bought 5 tickets. That's going to be all 4 of us. Tony's even going to go. She doesn't do stuff like this. She couldn't give a single shitlet about music. But she goes, I want to go see Paul McCartney. I said, hell yeah. So even she's gonna be there. Both boys. So all 4 of us plus Steve. So we're gonna go, and it's in June, I think. Carrier Dome in Syracuse. That'll be great. I think the first time I was ever at one of those giant stadium tours was at that Rolling Stones just a few months ago. I don't think I'd ever been to a gigantic... I mean, I've been to large venues, like large amphitheaters and stuff, like Lakewood Amphitheater in Atlanta. But I'm not... It's not like a football stadium, And so it wasn't too bad. I didn't know what to think. I didn't know what I was going to get myself into when I went to that Stones show, but it was good. They had these giant screens. I mean, you didn't feel like, it was an enjoyable experience, more enjoyable than I thought it was going to be. So I have no doubt that this McCartney show is going to be similar. going to be great. How could you not like Paul McCartney? It's impossible. Yeah, it's fantastic. And I don't know, his tickets are like $300, right? And I don't know if his net worth dipped below 1.5 billion and he had to go out on tour again. I don't know. I don't know the circumstances around it. But I'm happily, I don't know about happy, but happily fork over the cash to see Sir Paul, in concert in Syracuse, New York. Supposedly Ringo's going to show up at certain dates. How cool would that be? I doubt he'll be in Syracuse. It'll probably be New York and Los Angeles. But anyway. So that's coming. That'll be good. Eels canceled their tour. I don't know what the hell's going on there. Sucks. I don't even want to talk about that. I am going to go see the Viagra Boys. All right. Oh my God. Sorry about that. My stomach is like growling. I don't know what the hell's going on. But anyway, Viagra Boys in Philly. I think I said May or March or April. April, I think. Anyway. So that's coming up. All that stuff's coming up. That's good, right? Speaking of music, my friend Tim sent me a message the other day. He said he's been listening to this channel called Deep Tracks on SiriusXM. I've listened to that. There's basically 3 classic rock stations on there. The one I listen to the most is called Classic Rewind. It says classic rock from the cassette era, right? So that's right in my wheelhouse. That's where. And then there's another one I don't remember what they're called, but then one of them is Deep Tracks. And that's that's not hits. That's stuff that's, album tracks that didn't really get played on the radio, right? That's the whole concept of it. Old, classic rock basically, but not the stuff that you normally hear. I've listened to it, and I like that kind of stuff sometimes. And it kind of reminds me. I told him it kind of reminds me of listening to FM radio back before it became a commercial thing. Back when it was more like college station. All right, so that's cool. I was listening. So the other day I was driving after he sent me that, and I said, I'm going to listen to that Deep Tracks. I'm going to see what's on there. I turn it on. There's a 20-minute song by Yes on there. It just kept going on and on and on. I'm like, what the? This, it's it sounded like 5 or 6 different songs, combined together. It's these complex changes and chord changes and tempo changes. And it's what? Who would listen to this? Specifically that progressive rock stuff. That stuff sucks. God. What? Shouldn't there be some fun? Seriously. I'm not saying that Deep Tracks channel, they have good stuff on there. I just happened to tap in when they were playing some progressive rock crap. And I can't stand that garbage. There's these bands like Dream Theater and stuff like that. You familiar? They're prog rock. I can't stand. That is the worst, in my opinion. I can't stand all that stuff. That stuff is for musicians. Musicians are oh God, did you hear that? Did you hear that 1, 2, 3 turnaround or something? I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I don't know what the hell. All I know is I'm not having any fun listening to this song. This thing's bringing me no enjoyment at all. Isn't that supposed to be what? I didn't know it was supposed to be some exercise in method. I think it was just going on and on and on and on. It was it felt like it was multiple songs. It would switch. Ooh, did you hear? You know how hard it is to get from the key of S into the all this shit. I don't know. I don't even know either. I don't know what you're talking about, and I don't care. And it sucks. Turn on the frickin' knack or something. Something with a little, whatever. So anyway, Yes, terrible. Early Yes, and then they turned into a pop band later. Had a bunch of hits, but I don't know. It might be a while since I might tap into it again today when I'm driving. When I'm driving to work, I might listen to it again. See if I can tap into something a little bit more interesting for me. All right. And speaking of that, the other day I put on my head when I have to make something in the kitchen. Tony assigns me things Like there's stuff that she doesn't like to do. Anything that has to do with chopping, like if there's a lot of prep work, like cutting up vegetables and shit like that, she always assigns that to me. She goes like, I don't like doing that. So I end up doing it. And I put on what I do. I put these headphones on, these wireless headphones, and I listen to something, either a podcast or some music or whatever. And I put on these headphones, and I was thinking, these things have never been charged since I bought them. Like, and I've had them for like 2 years. I think it's been like 2 years, maybe a year and a half or something. And I have never charged. I charged them when I first got it, and I use them a lot. It's not like I don't ever use them, but I've never had to recharge. It's never said, it has like when you turn it on, it says power on, or something like that. It's like some kind of woman speaking some kind of weird. So, and then it says connected, like it connects to your Bluetooth or whatever. It's never said, you need to plug this son of a bitch in, I don't know. But, so, I've been using this thing for like a year and a half, 2 years, and it's using the one charge, the original charge on it. Like, how is this possible? Then I started thinking, maybe it's like powered off dumbass. Maybe the dumbass, like when I put it on, it charges off of me. Like I'm generating the power. I am the power source. Maybe it's a dumbass powered piece of equipment. I mean, I don't know. I don't know anything. I don't know how technology works. But isn't that bizarre? Things have been I charged at one time when I first bought them, like 2 years ago, and it's still working. And it's headphones, and it's like, headphones. And they're fantastic. And you know how much they cost? It costs like $25. They're not even expensive. They're some no-name brand off Amazon. I don't even know, some brand, you can buy electronics that has all kinds of goofy names. They're not real brand. I don't know but these, it's like, they're comfortable. They're cheap. They work fantastic. They sound good. And the battery never dies. Ever. It's crazy. It's amazing to me. But anyway, thought I'd throw that in. And let's see. Oh, I was going to talk about breakfast in bed, but I was going to say, I've been watching, like we watched that Downton Abbey, right? We're watching it again. You can make of that what you want. There's a movie coming out in a couple months. The second movie, right? The series ended, then there was a movie, and now there's going to be a second movie. So Tony said, "Why don't we watch it again? Let's power through it again, and then it'll end. It'll end right when we start when the movie comes out." I said, "Oh, whatever. I like it. I mean, we're deep into it, like we're in season like 5 or something. The quality slipping, the quality slips later, but it's still pretty good. But anyway, I see these people having breakfast in bed on there, like the servants bring up their like a tray. Like, why would that? I would hate that. I don't think I've ever in my life had breakfast in bed, And how is that luxury? I mean, how is that considered to be luxury? To be eating, like, in bed. Like a full meal. I'm not talking about a sack of Cheetos. I'm talking about, like, a full meal with bacon and all that stuff. Eggs, all that shit. While you're in bed. I mean, how is that and that's the lap of luxury, breakfast in bed. Yes, I don't know. Have you ever? Is that something you are a fan of? Fond of? Are you a fan? Are you a fond of this? Whatever. I don't remember ever. On these old shows in the 70s, they would be like, "I'm going to make mom and dad breakfast in bed," the kids or something like that. I'd be like pissed. I'd be like, "All right, thanks." I'm like, what the hell? There's like crumbs. There's like there's like toast crumbs in the sheets. Stuff's going to get stuck on my legs, when I go to sleep. What the hell's this? Like a packet of butter stuck to my ass? You know what I mean? I don't want all that. I don't want food in my bed. I have to strip the thing down. I have breakfast in bed, now you got to strip the whole thing down. You got to wash the sheets, change the sheets. You know, you wake up and the next morning and you're like, you know, you got egg particles stuck to your back. You know, all right. Are you a fan of the breakfast in bed? That's bullshit, man. That's like a TV thing, right? People don't actually do that. I mean, it can't be, right? Oh, one more thing before I get to I have a couple of phone calls. I mentioned at work the other day, I said, bought Paul McCartney tickets. They're like, who the hell is Paul McCartney? You know, I mean, I don't know. That's the look in their eyes. And I said $300 a pop. Can you believe that? And they're like, well, one guy said, well, I paid $500 for Bad Bunny tickets. I said, who's this? I said, Bad Bunny. The shit? I've actually heard of him. I sort of know who he is. I don't know. $500? Like, what the? It's like, all right, well, I guess that's nothing then. 300, you know, whatever. I guess my story sucks. Moving on. God. It's like you're not supposed to, you know, if somebody says, you know how much I paid for my, you know, whatever, you know, or whatever, you're not supposed to, like, one-up them. It's not supposed to be a one-upmanship type thing. You have to be a little, like, oh, that's a lot, man. That's a lot. And you're thinking inside your head, shit, I paid $500 for those Easter Bunny tickets or whatever his name is, you know, whatever, Bunny Rabbit, whatever. And but you don't say it high. Perhaps it's just me. Just let somebody have their moment. Just like, paid frickin' $300, man. About 5 tickets cost more than my first car. My first car cost $1,000. 1971 Chevy Nova, blue, with some kind of like special paint job with the little flecks of like metal in the paint, so that when the sun hits it, it kind of sparkles. That thing was a beautiful, beautiful car. Beautiful. Paid $1,000 for it, and now I paid $1,500. Well, I'm gonna, you know, it's not coming out of my pocket totally. It, you know, I'll get some money back on that deal, but it cost $1,500 for 5. Oh yeah, it's nothing like Bunny Rabbit. All right, I know his name's Bad Bunny. I'm not being disrespectful to Mr. Bunny. I mean, don't get me wrong. All right. What else? I guess that's it. I got 2 phone calls. Just came in over the hotline. Both from our old friend Ian in Scotland. And here's the first one.
Hey, Jeff. It's Ian in Scotland. So, Reacher. Yeah, it was great. Really enjoyed it while I was watching it. However, in retrospect, felt a bit like Dukes of Hazzard, maybe, looking back. I don't know. Also, his fights got a bit Marx Brothers at the time, like ping, pong, bang, ping. Oh, man, punch to the throat, didn't work. Break his leg, didn't work. Hit him with a big slab of concrete, didn't work. It was like, come on. And then that last scene where he's walking down the highway, I got a shiver. It was like Littlest Hobo. Remember the Alsatian dog, detective dog thing? Yeah, so, but all in all, yeah, a solid 7 out of 10. Good. Last night I went to a restaurant, Italian place, Tony Macaroni, real Italian surname. And when we went in, they said, oh, just to tell you guys, we've no pizza. I was like, why? You not got any pizza? I went, oh, we've run out of mozzarella. It's like, what? How can that happen? So yeah, really good. And they didn't get a tip. When they came at the end, they said, oh, what's this service charge? Like, $1.80 in your money. I was like, take that off. So, no tip there for no mozzarella, no tip. Anyway, have a good one, mate. Bye.
All right. Thanks for the review, Ian. You know, you're right. You're right about that. Because when I was watching that Reacher show, Reach Around, when I was watching Reach Around, I was like really into it, digging it. It was fun. It was like but then after it's over, I'm like, I don't even really remember much about that show. It's only been a couple of weeks. I'm like, I don't really even. I mean, it's like empty calories, man. It's like eating a frickin' Little Debbie cake. It's like, man, that's satisfying. And then you don't even, it's like, did nothing. There's like nothing. You get nothing out of it. All I know is when I was watching it, while I was watching it, I was enjoying the shit out of it. And then now I don't really remember much about it, other than it's just a bunch of fighting, like you say. And you're right, like Marx Brothers. There's a little, Three Stooges. Three Stooges. Ooh. There's a little Three Stooges like, But anyway, and you said it's like a Dukes of Hazzard. I think I never watched that show. I didn't watch much in the 80s. I was off doing stuff I shouldn't have been doing. 70s, I watched a lot of TV. 80s, no. It's funny because the 80s were a long time ago, and by that point, I was already out doing stuff. That's how old I am. God, that's depressing. But anyway, I know what you're saying. You're right. And 7 out of 10. That sounds right. That sounds about right. I like it. If you want to sit down and watch a TV show and be entertained, and there's some laughs in there. It's not devoid of humor. It's semi well written. It's well written for what it is. It's not going to win any awards, but it's not embarrassingly stupid. It's good. There's a lot of fighting, just an enormous amount of fighting. The guy's kicking ass, beating people's asses. Just beating ass through the entire thing. And so anyway, thank you for the review. And you went to an Italian place. They didn't have pizza because they don't have mozzarella. That's outrageous. I don't know. I've never heard such a thing. Why is everybody out of everything now? What is going on? Supply chain problems. Things stuck out in some container ship out in the middle of the ocean. All the mozzarella is out there stuck out in the middle of the ocean. Bullshit. Lies. I don't know what the hell's going on. I think they're taking advantage of this situation. I'm very skeptical of this whole deal where everybody's out of everything. It's like, well, we can't do that because there's a pickle shortage. Like, what? Whatever. There's toothpicks. Can't get toothpicks anymore. Like, whatever. It's like just random stuff, You can't get them anymore, Why? What is this, World War II? Well, might be World War III, but you know what I'm saying. Like, why can't, why? I don't know. I'd be pissed, and I don't understand that. When I'm over in England, when I was over in England, they put that service charge on there. Is that the tip? I don't understand that. It's different than the U.S. And then they expect a tip on top of it. We went into an Italian place in London. I remember this, and I was like, "What is this service charge? Is that the Like I said, the whole thing, And then I didn't tip because I thought that was the tip. And then the guy was like, is there some kind of problem, sir? And they're like basically chasing us down the sidewalk. Was there some kind of problem? I'm like, I don't know what the hell. I don't know how it works. They were like, here comes some Americans. They like to tip. They were all excited because we were in there eating their spaghetti or whatever. And they were like, hell yeah, Americans. They like to lay down the big fat tips. And it's true, I guess. But I don't know how it works. I'm not going to double tip. I'll tip. I don't have a problem with that. I just don't know how it works. I don't know about that service charge. I don't know. But anyway, no mozzarella, so we can't make pizzas. I'm very skeptical. Thanks for the call, Ian. I appreciate it. Thanks for your feedback on Reacher. I think we're in cahoots. I think we're aligned on this deal. All right. And now I have another call, a follow-up call from Ian right here.
Hey, Jeff, Ian Scotland again. Just thought I should phone back to clarify. When I said felt a bit Dukes of Hazzard, that's the Dukes of Hazzard. But in Scotland we say Dukes of Hazzard. which probably sounds like a bit like a Scottish Harry Potter. Chicks a hazard! Chicks a hazard! I don't know if you'll get that. So, yeah, Scottish clarification. Also, I was wondering, are there any accents, American accents, that you, maybe not dislike, but like less than other accents? Don't mean to alienate your fan base. But, like my girlfriend, she can't stand Glasgow accents, which is a bit rich because she's from Fife, and that's not the best accent. In my opinion. She sounds lovely, by the way, in case she's listening. But yeah, any accents you like less than others in the States. Okay, there you go. Bye.
The Dukes of Hazzard versus Dukes of Hazzard. I don't know. I think we say Dukes of Hazzard too. I don't know. I'm not sure about that. But accents that I don't like or like less. You might find this hard to believe, but yes, there are some that irritate me. I know it's probably a shock to your system. Like, for instance, all right, in the South, all right, I feel like all right, people will argue with you about this, but I grew up in southern West Virginia, which is very much a part of the South, as far as I'm concerned. Some people will say, no, that's Appalachia. I'm like, whatever, man. But I grew up around Charleston, West Virginia, in the southern part of the state, and that is not much different from North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia. In my mind, and people always want to argue about this, that's part of the South. So I feel like I have lived most of my life in the South. I mean, I lived in 22 years in West Virginia, and I lived 4 years in North Carolina, and I lived 7 years in Georgia. I spent lots of time in South Carolina. I feel I'm connected to the South, all right? So, but even within the Southern accent, there's several different versions of it, There's the old money, posh Southerners. That's one thing. Those are the people standing around drinking mint juleps, wearing outlandish hats, you know what I'm talking about? So there's that Southern accent, and then there's like the hardened hick, the ones that kind of talk through their nose, kind of like a nasally type situation, and they use way too much profanity. They're like, goddamn right, that kind of stuff, goddamn right. That, how's that? That version. And then there's the just the everyday people that's like going to work, paying their mortgage, cooking up some burgers on the weekend. They're just normal everyday people. They just speak with a Southern accent. It's like neither one of the other two I just mentioned. I like all those except for the hardened hick. The ones the ones from L.A. I'm talking about Lower Alabama. Those are the ones I have a problem with. It sounds like a mosquito. There's like a mosquito in the car. That kind of stuff. Goddamn right. All right. But you know what I'm saying? All right. And then there's the, I don't like that Midwest. Bugs me. I mean, the thing about all of these, there's like degrees of them. Some of them are like cartoons, like where they're exaggerated way beyond. The ones that are like wildly exaggerated, if it's a subtle thing, I don't really care. I'm not that big of an asshole, but some of them just go all in on it, like that whole Midwest thing, that whole you betcha, all that stuff, that Sarah Palin type. That bugs me. I don't know. And then there's also a nasally thing going on up there. Like, I'm from Chicago. Like, I don't know why you have to like say it that way, but I'm from Milwaukee. That kind of stuff. I'm from Chicago. You know what I'm saying. I don't like that either. And then there's the New York, New Jersey crap. I mean, if you just talk that way and you're just like a normal person, that's fine. But some of them are like cartoon characters, like over here, get over here, that shit. Can't stand that. That bugs me. Even on The Sopranos, some of that stuff are like, oh God, I don't know. But, but I know people who have New York New Jersey accents up in here. We're not too far from New Jersey, and we're not too far from New York, and it's all right. I mean, like I say, if you're just like, if you're not taking it too far, some people go just embrace it. They're like so proud of being from Jersey, that kind of stuff. It bugs me, And then there's that whole mess up there in the New England area. All up in there, I don't even know. I can't even understand a damn thing they're saying. They talk. It's like impossible. It's incomprehensible. A lot of that stuff up in there. There's the Boston accent, which is annoying. I don't want to offend anyone, but then there's like other stuff. I don't even know, like New Hampshire. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. There's all kinds of weird ways of talk. I can't understand like Maine and stuff. I don't understand any of that. It's hard to understand what they're saying. I mean, it's like literally, is this English? Are you sure this is English? It's almost, and I don't want to offend you, Ian, some of those, the Scottish people that like when I was on that plane, when we were coming back, I think when we were coming back, no, when we were heading over to England, there was this nice Scottish couple sitting beside me. It's like three seats, so it was Tony and the two boys in one, and then I had to sit by myself in a different row because there was, there's only 3 seats. And then it was like this nice couple. They were nice, but I couldn't understand a word they were saying. And they couldn't understand me, I don't think. Or they were bored. I mean, it's possible they could have just been like, I don't know, who's this asshole? Who's this guy? But anyway, some of that New England stuff, it's incomprehensible to me. I don't even understand it. I don't know, the West Coast, they don't have any kind of, I don't think they have any accents, not really. But they do say, there's these subtle little things I pick up on, like when they say instead of saying hamburger, like hamburger, right? That's what you're supposed to say it, right? Hamburger. They say hamburger, like the last part of it's like all crushed together. If you notice on TV shows, a lot of those people are from California, they live out there, and they're always talking about I'm going to get me a cheeseburger. Tony's like, how do you, I said, I don't know, I just noticed this shit. She goes, I think you're insane. I said, well, that's possible, but if you listen to these people from California, they say hamburger. All right. You know what else? It's not an accent, but they also have all kinds of weird phrases like sig alert, and they also have like the auto club, and they also talk about the marine layer a lot, that kind of stuff. That has nothing to do with the accent. Anyway, so there's probably others. I don't know. But I do like the Scottish accent and the British accents. I know there's a whole bunch of different variations on that as well. And, I like that. I mean, I think all Americans love the British and the Scottish and all that. I think we all love that, right? I remember when I was listening to, I used to listen to Clive Bull radio show out of London. I used to listen to that every day for years. I loved it. It was a funny show. He would just talk about, I don't know, just various subjects. He wasn't talking about the news. We don't need to hear about the news. We don't need to hear about politics. He would ask these silly questions that people call in, and it was fun. It was great. And but anyway, I remember him on multiple occasions making fun of the way people in America say Monty Python. Like, you say it like an American, Monty Python, like wildly exaggerated. I don't know, man. It's like, I guess they say Python, Monty Python, and he's like, Python, making fun of us. And I was like, I don't know, man. That's the way I was taught to talk. That's the way everybody talks. That's the way I learned. I don't know, whatever. And you guys learned to say it a different way. We say it this way. I don't know. It's not some decision I made. That's just the way we talk. All right. Hope that answered your question, Ian. I appreciate you calling in. I really do. Call in anytime you want. And the rest of you, I also have an open invitation to do the same. The number, 570-290-8151. Again, 570-290-8151. Call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even Thursday. I don't know what that means. Every day. You can call in anytime you want. And leave a message, ask a question, make a suggestion, whatever. And it'll probably almost certainly be used in a future episode. So do it today if you're so inclined. And if you want 2 of these episodes a week instead of a measly one, you can do that too. You can head on over to patreon.com. That's Patreon, patreon.com/JeffK. Sign up for a $4 or more monthly donation. You just go to the website, and there'll be a rare opportunity to give away a little bit of your money. And in exchange, you'll get an extra episode of this podcast, full-length episode every week. It's great value. Patreon.com/JeffK. And we have the website, the companion to the podcast. That's at surfreportpod.com. There you'll find expanded show notes, extra links, photographs, what have you. Just support materials, stuff I talked about, in case you want to check it out a little bit more. And I think it's pretty good. surfreportpod.com. And that's enough. The rest of it's in the show notes. There's other stuff like the $5 scratch-off project, all that stuff. But it's in the show notes if you want to check it out. So until next time, which will be over on the Patreon side, you guys have yourselves a fine, fine day. I'll see ya. Bye. I start getting nervous like I'm getting the Alzheimer's.